Hippos are amazing animals. These magnificent creatures are often misunderstood due to their intimidating appearance. However, there's so much more to them than meets the eye. They are huge and powerful, spending their days in rivers and lakes. Their massive bodies can weigh up to 3,300 pounds, making them one of the heaviest land animals on Earth. With their big mouths and strong teeth, they look quite scary. Their jaws can open up to 150 degrees, revealing large, sharp canines that can grow up to 20 inches long. But hippos are herbivores, which means they only eat plants. They primarily feed on grasses and can consume up to 80 pounds of vegetation in a single night. Hippos are very social animals. They live in groups called pods. These pods are usually led by a dominant male and can include females and their young. A pod can have up to 30 hippos. These groups provide protection and social interaction, which is crucial for their survival. They communicate with each other through grunts and snorts. These vocalizations help them establish territory, signal distress, and maintain social bonds. These sounds echo across the water, creating a symphony of hippo calls that can be heard from miles away. They are a key part of life in the African rivers. Their presence helps maintain the ecosystem by creating channels and pools that benefit other wildlife. In this documentary, we will journey back in time. We will uncover the ancient history of hippos and their significance in various cultures. We will explore the fascinating history of these river giants. From their prehistoric ancestors to their current status in the wild, hippos have a rich and intriguing past. Get ready to be amazed by the majestic hippopotamus. Their story is one of survival, adaptation, and the incredible beauty of nature. Millions of years ago, the Earth was a very different place. The continents were in different positions, the climate was varied, and the flora and fauna were unlike anything we see today. It was a world teeming with life, from the smallest microorganisms to the largest dinosaurs. The ancestors of hippos roamed the planet. These early mammals were small, agile creatures that lived in a variety of environments. They were part of a diverse group of animals that would eventually give rise to many of the species we know today. Fossil evidence tells us a fascinating story. By studying these ancient bones, scientists can piece together the history of life on Earth. They can see how different species evolved over time, adapting to changing environments and developing new traits to survive. Hippos are closely related to whales. Can you imagine? Despite their differences in appearance and habitat, these two groups share a common ancestor. This connection is a testament to the incredible diversity of life and the complex web of relationships that bind all living things together. These massive land animals and the giants of the ocean share a common ancestor. This ancestor lived millions of years ago and gave rise to two very different lineages. One lineage adapted to life in the water, eventually becoming the whales we know today. The other lineage remained on land, evolving into the hippos we see in Africa. Over time, they evolved to live in different environments. Whales developed streamlined bodies and powerful tails to navigate the ocean, while hippos retained their sturdy legs and large mouths for life on land and in water. This divergence is a perfect example of how species can adapt to their surroundings in unique ways. Hippos adapted to a life divided between water and land. They spend much of their time in rivers and lakes, where the water helps support their massive bodies and keeps them cool. On land, they graze on grasses and other vegetation, using their powerful jaws to tear through tough plant material. Their eyes are positioned on top of their heads. This unique adaptation allows them to see above the water while the rest of their body remains submerged. It's a perfect design for an animal that spends so much time in the water. This allows them to see, while mostly submerged. They can keep an eye out for predators and other threats without exposing themselves too much. It's a clever way to stay safe in their watery habitat. Their nostrils are also at the top of their snout. This allows them to breathe while keeping most of their body underwater. It's another example of how hippos are perfectly adapted to their environment. They can breathe while keeping their bodies cool in the water. This is especially important in the hot climates where hippos live. By staying in the water, they can avoid overheating and stay comfortable even on the hottest days. These adaptations show how perfectly suited they are to their unique lifestyle. From their eyes and nostrils to their powerful jaws and sturdy legs, every part of a hippo's body is designed to help them thrive in their environment. It's a remarkable example of evolution in action. During their long history, there were many different types of hippos. Some were true giants. Fossils reveal species much larger than those alive today. Imagine hippos twice the size. These massive herbivores roamed Africa and even parts of Europe. They were a dominant force in their ecosystems. Over time, these giant hippos disappeared. Climate change and other factors likely played a role. However, their smaller relatives continued to thrive. They adapted to the changing world around them. Ancient civilizations lived alongside hippos, coexisting in a world where nature and culture intertwined seamlessly. These majestic creatures were not just part of the landscape, they were integral to the very fabric of life. The Egyptians held a particular fascination with these creatures, seeing them as both a source of awe and inspiration. Their immense size and power were both revered and feared. Hippos feature prominently in their mythology and art, symbolizing both chaos and protection. They were often depicted in hieroglyphics and murals, showcasing their significance in daily life and spiritual beliefs. The goddess Taweret, often depicted with the head of a hippopotamus, was associated with childbirth and protection. She was a guardian of mothers and children, embodying the nurturing yet formidable nature of the hippo. This shows that Egyptians recognized the power and strength of these animals. Hippos were seen as symbols of might and resilience, qualities that were highly valued in their society. Hippos were also seen as guardians of the Nile River, a vital waterway that provided life and sustenance for the Egyptian people. Their presence in the river was a reminder of the delicate balance between nature and civilization. This vital waterway provided life and sustenance for the Egyptian people. The Nile was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, and the hippos that inhabited its waters were seen as protectors of this precious resource. The presence of hippos in their art and stories reflects the importance of these animals. They were more than just creatures of the wild. They were woven into the cultural and spiritual tapestry of ancient Egypt. They were a constant presence in the lives of the ancient Egyptians, symbolizing the enduring connection between humans and the natural world. This relationship was one of respect, reverence, and mutual coexistence. Section 5. Hippos in harmony. Shaping the environment. Hippos are a keystone species. This means they play a crucial role in their ecosystem. By grazing on large amounts of vegetation, they shape the landscape. Their dung, full of nutrients, fertilizes the water. This supports a complex web of life, from tiny insects to fish and birds. Hippos create habitats for other animals. They dig wallows in the riverbeds, creating deeper pools. These pools provide refuge for fish during the dry season. Hippos are essential for a healthy ecosystem. Section 6. The human impact, a time of change. For centuries, humans and hippos lived in relative harmony. However, in recent times, this balance has been disrupted. Human populations have grown. This has put pressure on hippo habitats. Deforestation and agriculture have led to habitat loss. Pollution has also degraded the quality of their water sources. As a result, hippo populations have declined significantly. They are now facing threats to their survival. It is our responsibility to protect these magnificent creatures. Section 7. Guardians of the Giants' Conservation Efforts. Recognizing the importance of hippos, conservationists are working tirelessly to protect them. National parks and reserves have been established. These protected areas provide safe havens for hippos to thrive. Anti-poaching units work to combat illegal hunting. Education programs raise awareness about hippo conservation. Communities living near hippo habitats are learning about the importance of coexistence. By working together, we can ensure a future for these amazing animals. Section 8. The future of hippos, a shared responsibility. The future of hippos rests in our hands. We must continue to address the threats they face. By supporting conservation efforts, we can make a difference. Educating future generations about the importance of wildlife is crucial. By fostering a love and respect for nature, we can inspire action. Every individual can play a role in hippo conservation. By making sustainable choices in our daily lives, we can reduce our impact on their habitats. Section 9. Conclusion. Appreciating the majestic hippopotamus. From their ancient ancestors to their vital role in ecosystems, hippos have a captivating story to tell. These majestic creatures deserve our admiration and protection. By understanding their history, we can appreciate their importance. Let us work together to ensure that the river giants continue to grace our planet for generations to come.